Growing up hard of hearing has shaped my life in ways I did not understand, from avoiding people to my shyness to just misunderstandings and being misunderstood and my fear of being misunderstood. So if you want to hear about how my hearing loss shaped me in my life growing up and who I am today, go ahead and keep watching and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so welcome to Being Blackout, where we hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. I'm your girl Blackout, where I and on this channel I speak about my life as a deaf-blind woman and how I'm learning how to navigate life in a whole new way that I never did before. I'm recently blind. Past 3 years I went blind, and all my life I've had struggled with my hearing loss. So that's what this video is going to be about today. My hearing loss and how I grew up trying to deal with that, I guess. So let's get into it. Maybe you're going to learn some things that might shock you or something. Huh? Something you didn't know. Learn something new today. Yeah. Okay, so I know I say deaf in the some other videos if you watch those, but I like to really use the term hard of hearing. That's not what I use. Only recently did I start like, am I actually deaf for real? Like, am I hearing low enough to be deaf? Like, so I say hard of hearing. That's what I used all my life, and I can still kind of hear a little bit even without my hearing aids. It's just really, 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 really difficult. I really have to strain. I might have to cuff. I might have to get real close to you and be like, "Hey, what'd you say?" Yell at me, and they be like, "I don't want to yell at you. Yell at me so I can hear you." I'm like, because that's the only way I can get them to speak up. Otherwise, they gonna, especially men, they got lower voices. But yeah, so they be like, they get lower. Actually, I don't understand it when people get lower. When you're like, "Hey, I can't hear you. Can you speak up a bit, please, so I can make out the words you're saying?" But they I don't know. Okay, so let's go ahead and take it way back, way back, way back to when I was a child. I'm gonna go ahead and start when I was 7, because that's in first grade. That's when I realized, or that's when it was known that I've had some hearing issues and some hearing loss. So I am a shy person, so that's what we're gonna talk about. My hearing loss and shyness. So ever since I was young, I was very shy. I was a shy little lass. Anyways, I remember being in like an after school program while I waited for my sister to get out of kindergarten. And in that after school program, the woman that oversaw like the children, it was like a little daycare or something at the school. And I was really shy. I didn't talk to anyone. I stayed in my own corner a lot. And so I stayed in my own little corner, and I guess she didn't know I could speak or something. I guess she thought I was a mute. Until one day I remember leaving, my dad picked me up, and I was holding his little hand, or his 2 fingers, and my dad do this and we hold his fingers. I don't know why he do that, but we hold his fingers and walking. I'm just talking. I'm talking to the storm. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm talking, and I'm not shutting up. And I turn around and I see the woman. She's looking at me, smiling, and I was like, God dang it, she saw me speaking. She knows I speak now, but yeah, no. Because when I was younger, they said I talk a lot. I talk a lot, a lot, a lot. Like they couldn't get me to shut up, but which is crazy because I don't really speak a lot now. Maybe because of my hearing loss. I don't know. With that being said, I'm naturally shy, but growing up, even like when you start to come out of that shyness and you're like middle school or just high school, when you start to, I was starting to come out like not be as shy, but then my hearing got really bad. So I kind of go back into that. So I feel like I'm starting to come out of my shyness. I can talk to people, and then like I don't, because I don't like small talk. I'm not an outgoing person. I don't know. I'm not one of those people that can just walk up to people and talk about anything and everything. I'm not, and I'm amazed by people who can do that. But I'm not one of those people. And like I said, I don't even like small talk, so it'd be hard to try to just fake the funk. I don't like faking the funk. It's really difficult. And pretending like I care about something, like talk about something that I really don't really care to hear the answer to. No, I'm not one of those people. So it's really hard. And so, yeah, so even just coming out my shyness a little bit, where I'm not afraid to really speak to people, whatever, I kind of went back in because my hearing got really bad. And it's like, I don't want to be like, what you say? And then smiling and nodding, looking stupid, not understand what they said. Then find out they asked a question that I actually need to answer to. And I'm like, oh, wait, what you say? So many times have I done that. So Um, so coming out, yeah, I went back in because it's people are not that great. They don't like repeating themselves. They don't. I don't like repeating myself either, but I have a little bit more patience for people who have to, hey, what'd you say? The hearing loss, yeah, it doesn't help with that I'm shy, but now I don't really know how to talk to people. And I'm just fading to the background. I just don't talk to people. But especially if there's a group setting, I kind of just let them speak because it's kind of hard to keep up with the conversation, what they were saying. And I didn't have hearing aids. Hearing aids were expensive and stuff. I remember being in high school. That's when my dad got me like a little amplifier thing that you see on the infomercials. So they look like a little Bluetooth headset for like phones and stuff. I didn't even have a phone, but I was a little embarrassed to be wearing that. And I'm like, I don't even have a phone out here for real. But so I mean, people try talking to me or talking to me in like school and stuff, like, oh, hey, like, da da da. And I'm like, and then like, I just stop talking. I don't talk to them because I can't hear what they're saying, and I'm kind of embarrassed. I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying. I don't want to speak to you. Don't talk to me. You're trying to make friends with me. I don't want to be your friend. Not that I didn't want to be your friend, but I just didn't want to try to. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to try to strain to hear, and then they like, oh, you weird. You can't hear or something like that. That's what it was like. So, um. Yeah, I didn't get hearing aids until a couple years ago, actually, first time. And when I got hearing aids a couple years ago, I feel like the man, the doctor, I think he dripped me out of some money or something because it wasn't professional at all. I didn't even get, he gave me some, he didn't even, it wasn't even in a box. It was supposed to be a refurbished pair. Wasn't even in a box. He went and found some, he's like, it didn't even come with a charger. He was like, I'm gonna give you our charger. And I think he gave me some used. Well, I don't know what he was doing. So he gave me some hearing aids with the charger they had in a little gift bag that they found around the office, and and I paid a few $1,000s for that damn hearing aids, and he didn't even tell me how to use them because he knew it was my first hearing aid. He didn't tell me how it works, how to clean them, nothing. I didn't know what I was doing, and those hearing aids didn't last more than a few months. They got low. I didn't know anything about wax guards, cleaning them, nothing at all, and I felt like it was a waste of money that I spent. Like I was so excited to get them though because I was able to hear a little better when I first got them and stuff. But no. Then eventually I found some hearing aids on Amazon, like amplifiers. They're not the best, but they do what needs to be done for right now until I can get like some real hearing aids that helps filter out the background and the foreground and the noise so it won't be all just one loud thing and I'm trying to make out what someone's saying and I'm just in a whole loud room, TV, people in the background, like, but that's, yeah, anyways. So growing up, I didn't really have hearing aids, and when I was 17, that's when my hearing was the lowest. This one used to be my best year, and this one was the lowest. Then at that point, this one was the lowest. Then this one, and this one was pretty low. So I got ear surgery on this one because this was the lowest one. So if you didn't know, now you know. And so hearing people can be real difficult. I don't like speaking to people, especially men, because men tend to have a lower voice than women. Women tend to be louder than men. That's what I've noticed. And I know. Okay, so a quick little story. When I used to stay with my sister and her husband, their children. Um, and like when we moved out there back in 2016, I stayed with them from 2016 to 2020. And in that whole time, I maybe spoke to him like a handful of times. And that's because he has a low voice. He don't really speak that much. And when he do, it's very low. And so I kind of avoided him at all costs. I avoided him at all costs, especially like, I don't know, I felt like I was living there and I can't hear him speak, and it's really awkward. And so it was just an awkward thing for me. It was very awkward, so I just avoided him when he was home from work. I wasn't around because I didn't want to try to speak to him, and I can't hear him. I never really got to know him like that for real. So if he's watching, that's why I never really spoke to you if you're watching. Well, he knows I can really hear and stuff, but yeah, it was just I don't know. It never got comfortable. Um, and so, and I lived with them for 4 years, so Also, when we first moved out there, because we were supposed to move into this house, but something went down and happened where we didn't move into his house, so we ended up having to move into his mom's house. And his mama does not like me. I don't know if she still don't like me, if she just got over it or whatever, but she did not like me because she thought I was rude because I couldn't hear her. I don't know if my sister or Thomas ever told her I can't hear. I'm not sure if they let her know, like, hey, maybe she didn't hear you because you know she can't hear. But but yeah, she didn't like me. She thought because I didn't speak, you know, I'm shy. But also I can't hear. I didn't know she came. Like I might not have known she came into the house or she walked right. She walked past. Like, cause it'll be like she walked past the room. Like when she comes in, you can see like the little door area, and I'll be in the living room area, and she walks straight past and goes straight to her room. And she might say hi or wait, throw up a hand, and she might not hear me say hi back or something. Or one time she was in there, she was sitting there talking, playing with her grandson, and I was just sitting there. I was all awkward and stuff, but I don't know if she said because I was watching something. Then I don't know where she was right there, and I was kind of paused the thing, and I was just sitting there because I don't know what to say to her. I can't even hear her speaking. If she was speaking to me, because it seemed like she was just playing with her grandson, my nephew. So I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, so I ended up leaving that house, going to um, another state to for my cousin to help with her child. And then when I was done with that, my sister was out there, we was going back, and she told me that her husband's mom didn't want me out there. She didn't want me in her house. I was like, okay. I'm like, I knew she didn't like me. I knew it because the way her vibe, I can feel it. And she was like, yeah. I was like, did y'all even tell her that I wasn't being rude? I just can't hear her. And she was like, no. So she never told her. She never like really like stood up for me for her or whatever, explaining why I was like that. So she just thought I was out here being rude for real. Which a lot of people, if you're shy, a black woman, then you would think black women are just all of them just so loud and outgoing and hey baby. Nah, I'm not like that. I'm quiet. I'm shy. Even if I could hear, I'd probably be a little bit more outgoing, but I'm still quiet and shy. So um. I'm not like that. Don't just assume because you're quiet and you're sitting there, whatever, because you don't want to be there. You don't want to talk to nobody. Maybe I do want to talk to somebody. Somebody needs to come up and start talking to me, and then I can like warm up and get out of my shell a little bit, and I'll start talking to you. Or I have hearing loss, so I just kind of just avoid and back up, and I don't like. I used to like crowded settings. I used to go going to the store, especially back in the day when I was a kid. I loved going to Walmart because it was a crowded store, and I want them to buy me stuff. So, but now, like I'm older and stuff, and I stayed more to myself. I kind of grew like a little bit of anxiety going to the stores and stuff. I was starting to come out of that again, but then I went blind, and now I hate going to the stores. Anxiety creeps back up. It's like every time I start to come out of my shyness, because I finally got those hearing aids. So I was like, oh, I can speak to people now. I can go out. Oops, sorry. I can speak to people now. I can speak to people now. I can go out and do things and just, get a job outside the house. That's when I started doing DoorDash and and Uber Eats and Instacart and Notary. And then I started going blind, and now I'm back in the shell. Now I'm trying to come back out again. Let's see how this goes. God, let's see how this goes, because it seems like once something starts looking up, it goes down. It's downhill from there. So I try not to get my hopes up on anything. I try not to get my hopes up on anything for too long. Like, just it's just what it's gonna be at this point. I remember my tongue feeling weird. Like I couldn't taste like from half of my tongue. I didn't know it affected the tongue and stuff, like your taste buds and things like that, your mouth. But it does. So I got ear surgery and that, yeah. And then I ended up leaving high school and doing self-paced study work because I didn't really care for high school. So I ended up doing self-paced study work, which I liked. And and then this hearing, I was able to hear better out of this ear. So this was my better ear again, and this one was still low. I was supposed to get surgery on this ear, but for some reason it didn't happen. I don't know. I couldn't hear, so I wasn't really paying attention to none of that. I can't tell you what I had that made my hearing so low. They never, anytime I heard them say anything, or doctors or whatever, they was like, they don't know because I have really small ears. They was like, maybe that can be it, or but the surgery I think was something about moving a bone or something. If y'all know what that is, comment down below, let me know. But yeah, I think they moved like a bone or something to help me hear. Also had like they had nerve damage in my hearing too, because I hear that, that little noise, that little sound in my ears, or airplane noises and stuff. So I guess that's a indicator of nerve damage or something. But so that happened, and then I guess over time that depleted again. I think especially when I got the hearing aids, those other hearing aids, or even these ones, I think my hearing depleted, plummeted even more again. So it didn't stay at that rate. It just got lower again after years. And so it's low again. Both of them are pretty low. But I use hearing aids that I got off of Amazon, and to be able to hear better, and which is so great because, and I don't know if y'all can hear it in my speech or not. If I can't, I never thought I had like a speech impediment or anything. Although no, growing up, I didn't know I had a speech. Well, okay, so growing up, I didn't know this was a side effect until one of the doctors said, "Yeah, it's a side effect." I mumble. I speak low and I mumble. And I was growing up, my dad used to say, "Enunciate your words. What did you say? Enunciate. Speak clearly and stuff." And I'm like, "I am." So I mumbled. That's a side effect. Normally, people think like, "Oh, you speak loud when you have hearing loss." No, you get lower. Your voice gets low because the world around you is so low. So I mumble and don't speak clearly. And then someone else said that I had a lips. Lips? Is that how you say it? Lips? Lips? It's I had one of those. I didn't never notice that I'd never been told I had one of those. That I spoke like that. Um but yeah, let me know if you let me know if you noticed that in my speech or anything. Um so and then also I still speak low. People be like, "Speak up." I'm like, "I am. I'm yelling at you right now." Like, "No, you speaking low." Like, I'm really thinking I'm yelling and I'm not. So yeah. That's the whole thing. In case you didn't know, now you know. So that's what it was like growing up, trying to speak to people and stuff. So, quick question: have you ever had anything that growing up hindered you with your communication or trying to connect with people? If so, how was you able to overcome that? Like, it could have been crippling, crippling anxiety, shyness, even if you had hearing loss or blindness or any other type of thing, mental thing or physical thing that hindered that, how did you overcome? How did that make you feel? Leave a comment down below. Let me know how that worked out for you because I want to hear about it. Let's connect, okay? I'm trying to find my community of people. So another thing is being hard of hearing and having hearing loss is people thinking I'm ignoring them. Well, I kind of touched on that with the woman, but I'm not. I just didn't hear them. There was a time where there was a woman that came up to me. She gave me a hug. I know, and she's like, "I'm so sorry. I thought you were ignoring me." And I'm like, "What are you even talking about?" And this was a woman my dad was dating. She probably thought I was tripping about my dad dating her or something. I'm 21 at this time, 22, 21. I wasn't tripping off of who my dad dating. No, he do what he do. Okay, he a grown man. But um, yeah, she thought I was ignoring her. But I guess she ended up saying something to my dad. My dad let her know. Oh, she probably didn't hear you because she has hearing issues. She has hearing loss, and so she was hugging me, and I was like, what? I was like, what she just say? My sister was sitting next to her, like, she thought you ignored her. I'm like, when did she think I ignored her? Like, I don't understand when that happened. I do remember at one point my dad came with her to pick me up from my sister's house. I was over there watching my nephew for her, and he came to get me. And then I remember talking to my nephew in his room, and then I turned around and I seen the woman walking away. So I don't know if she was up there trying to get me or she was saying something to me then and I was ignoring her. But yeah, that's another thing. My niece the other day, like last week or something, she was just telling me how she um I don't know if she did realize I had like if I had hearing issues before or not. But she was like, I guess my brother was saying something to her, and she was like, "Oh, that's why it's like I didn't like say anything to her when she was like calling out to me." And then also she was like, I could see me looking at her, but I wasn't really looking at her. I didn't see her. I didn't know. She was like, so, I got both of those things going on. So, you know how when you blind and you see someone, they're like, why are you ignoring me? And really, you didn't know it was them or hearing. Yeah, so I got double whammy on that. People always talking about, so people probably think I'm a real biatch for real, but really I'm not. I don't be trying to ignore people on purpose. Not on purpose. Sometimes, like I said, if y'all watch that other video, I might be honest, I might ignore someone, like if I pretend like I didn't hear what they said. They're knocking on my door and I don't want to get up and open my door or something like that, or they might say something, I don't want to hear it. And then I pretend like I didn't hear them or something. I'm like, oh, I didn't hear you. But I don't do that too often, if I'm being honest. It's not too often. Most of the time, if I am ignoring you, it's not on purpose. Let's see about impact on relationships growing up. Like I said, I didn't really date. If you watch my other videos on my heartbreak and my darkest hours of my heartbreak, maybe I'll link that down below, or hopefully it just comes up and it pops up in the playlist or something, because I gotta try to remember leaking these videos and I need to try to remember that. But I didn't really do relationships because I am hard of hearing and I didn't really go out and meeting people, because I just stayed to myself because of my hearing loss. I was kind of embarrassed. Also, I wasn't really in no like, oh, I need someone in that type of way, or just, and I'm okay because a lot of people can tend to be a little bit trifling, as I've learned recently, as I tried to go out and meet some people. They ain't as like I have my one best friend since seventh grade, and I'm spoiled with her. Like, we can be honest with each other. We know what's up. I don't have to worry about her being too sensitive, or me being too sensitive, or her not understanding where I'm coming from or what I'm trying to say. Like, we understand each other. Like, we are spoiled with our friendships. I think it's a rare type of friendship to have, and I'm thankful for it. And I really don't need that many friends, but sometimes you might want a little extra person, or like a guy friend. I did have a guy friend. I do have a guy friend. I don't really speak to him too much anymore. Um, if that guy friend is actually the guy that, if you watch my heartbreak one, is the one that we were so called in a relationship, a long distance relationship. But yeah, he's cool. I only recently started to date after that heartbreak. Not recently, but after that heartbreak, when I was going through that heartbreak, and I dated that guy for 3 months that I mentioned. That was my first like date and going out and stuff. Um, but after him, I didn't really go out and meet anybody else. I didn't, like I said, I just wanted God to send whoever. I didn't want to go out here and just do what I want to do, my own thinking in my own ways. So I really didn't care for. And then also I was just going through a heartbreak. God was like, no, you ain't going out there and meet nobody. You gotta stay alone in the isolation and figure this out. Let it work through it. And I've worked through it. It was hard, but I worked through it. And so I don't really date. I don't never had a real boyfriend for real. Nope, just been me, myself, and I, and I've been okay with that. Me, myself, and I, and God, and I'm okay. And like now, I just really just want God. Like, I'm not interested in any relationship. I just want God and know Him. He's the only relationship I'm worried about right now, and I'm just so excited to just really know more about Him and see where that can go, where that leads. And when it's time for Him to send who He wants me to be with, then I'll be welcoming that person with open arms. But until then, until God says go, then I'm gonna stay here. I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Honestly, I'm just so happy where I'm at right now, because looking at these relationships out here, especially from what I went through, that 10-year thing, that 10-year drag on of a non-relationship, of a situationship, and then even just that little 8 months of that boyfriend that I had when I was like 19, 20, and then seeing relationships that people got out here, it doesn't look good. It don't look appealing to me. I don't want none of that. They're trying to control you, or you trying to control them, and I just, God is my center. When God say go, that's when. That outside of that, I'm not interested in trying to do anything on my own without Him and His say so. So yeah. So what's something about hearing loss or any other challenges or disabilities that you face that you wish people knew about, that they were a little bit more mindful of, or that maybe they not be assuming, but maybe ask you about it? What are you facing that you wish people knew more about? Go ahead and leave a comment, drop a comment down below. Maybe you can educate me on something that I don't know, because there's a lot of things I don't know. And I would love to hear about it because I want to hear your experiences, what you're going through. I want to connect. Let's be friends because I need some friends. I need some blind friends. I need some hearing loss friends. I need some just some friends. Like, let's connect. Let's get it. Let's go for real, for real. Mm-hmm. You want to know a little bit more about me, or maybe check out some of those other videos that I mentioned because I've posted, go ahead and click this next video or find the playlist or just let it play through and the next video probably will play. Until next time, I'm out 3000. Let's get it, let's go, let's get it, let's go. Oh, bye.